All right, let's go out to our Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline, and there he is on our YouTube stream as well. Our friend Jay Isbell, who helps run our golf tournament, was a former colleague of Woods on the radio, his wipeout partner on the television show.
Jay Bird.
Relive that story again. Hi, Jay.
How you doing?
Hey, buddy.
Well, you don't look that worse for wear, considering the stories we heard out of
This way
Birmingham.
I always look. I always look worse for wear.
He does. All right, so number one, my question to you is, what are you doing at Burning Man? You're 87 years old. There's no reason for you to be at Burning
Dude,
Man.
I'm gonna tell you this. I was not the oldest man there. There are old people there. There are 75-year-old people there just rolling around.
All right, so have you been before?
Yeah, I went in 98.
98?
Oh, so you hadn't been in 25 years, and now you're coming back for this one in particular.
Yeah, why this one?
Yeah. Well, you know, my wife and last time I went, my wife didn't get to go with me. I took a bunch of listeners out with 92.5 The Flash.
Wow.
We drove out on this old school bus we bought, and it was a blast. So I said, we're going to go back. I've been trying to get tickets ever since, but when I went, tickets were $100 in 98. Now there's $600 a person. There's no entertainment beyond the DJs and everything else. There's no bands like really happening that you would know. It's just your $600 goes to entertainment.
You have to pay for this experience. I didn't realize that.
I didn't
I
know
thought
that
you could just
either.
show
I thought you
up
was show and go.
And just the fortitude of getting there is entry admission enough.
Yeah. There's no Pepsi. There's no Coke. There's none of these people that are advertising. There's no sponsors at all out there. Wow. It's just they sell you ice and they'll sell you coffee. But everything else is, you know, you can barter for, or they just give you. You walk up to a camp and they'll give you food and drinks. And it is a wild party. I saw more nude people than I've seen in a long time.
Holy cow. All right, so then when did you know things were like starting to go bad?
When did you leave?
Yeah.
When did you get back?
So we just got a new puppy, so we didn't leave till Tuesday. The event, I think you start loading in normally on Monday. So we left Tuesday night, drove pretty much through the night, and got there to Wednesday afternoon. And so then we partied, went out all night, and then had the next day. And then Friday, we knew the rain was supposed to start at about 1 o'clock. And the wind started picking up and everything started blowing. It's 50-mile-an-hour winds. We got back to our camper, basically, and locked down. So it rained hard through the night till about 4 a.m. At 4 a.m., we turned on the radio just to kind of get an update on, because they have a local radio station in Burning Man. And so that's pretty much how you get all your updates.
KBRN, Burning Man Radio.
Hey,
okay.
what's up?
It's Burning Man Radio. It's actually,
do they give away prizes, take callers?
They just have to come to the event, and then they lend their voices to the event.
It's incredible.
So they said, you know, stay down in place, you know, hunker down, you know, stuff's about to get, you know, it's not over yet, and you can't really walk around. And sure enough, it was mud up to your knees. It's just so sticky that it doesn't get off your feet. The guy next door to us actually left, but his buddy is the one who died at Burning Man.
No.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I heard that story. Do we know what happened? I know they were investigating.
So we heard his truck started. You know, I felt so bad for him anyway. They were just in a truck, so they were pretty much locked down in their truck the whole time. They were just sitting in the truck,
In the cab of the truck.
in the cab of the truck, just trying to stay out of it. It was cold, it was wet. And so we heard when the truck started, there were two of them, and it leave in the rain, which we were like, holy mother, how'd that happen? You know, how'd you get out of there? And so the next morning I walk over to him, and the guy said, yeah, they got a phone call, and one of the buddies was found out on the ply, just dead.
Good Lord.
We had his ID on him, and so he had to go to Truckee to meet up with the officials. And so they let him out. So the next morning, we're just trying to figure out what to do, and they're talking about, you know, more rain coming, and they're talking about Wednesday of this week to get out. Like I said, we just got a new puppy. I was not going to jack around and leave that puppy at home any longer. We wanted to get back home, so we just loaded up our stuff, waited till about 7 o'clock that night, jumped in the truck, and I knew I had 4-wheel drive, and I figured I could make it out.
Of course you did.
Sure enough, I just put the pedal to the metal and got out. You know, it's like we crossed 3 big streams in the desert. I mean, it was insane. We were sliding sideways with a 40-foot trailer on the back of it. But
Jay, you have grandkids.
Oh my God!
He has
Paul is showing
grandkids.
some of the pictures from Burning Man. Just someone just left their shoes in the mud. They're just stuck forever.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
grand.
there's gonna be
Yeah,
so
we talked
much
about
junk
it's
left out
clay.
there.
It's clay. Yeah, that's
It's
nasty.
it's a lake. It's a dried up lake. So all the clay is just sitting on the surface there. There was talk of camps that just abandoned everything. You know, the Europeans that fly in for this event, they just walked out and left everything that they had brought in.
That's fantastic. I
Yeah,
wanted to
the-
ask you. I saw a lot of people. You went back in '98, and that's what people do this with Coachella too. They're like, it's just not the same, and it's true. Everything changes. It gets bigger. It evolves. A lot of people don't like that. So, what were the main? Like, you saw it in '98, but you're saying it hasn't. It's not like corporately sold out or anything like that. What were the types of people different? Was the whole scene different than it was back in the day?
Man, it was pretty much the same. The one thing I will say, which was new for me, was the amount of influencers that were on site,
Oh,
which
yeah.
was a pet peeve of mine. They want to stand in front of every single thing and get their picture taken in their 2 or 3 outfits. They want to come and change and okay, now it's time for the white bikini. Did you bring my boa? And they've always got their person that's their camera person for them. So that was new for this event. Last time, I didn't think we had cell phones at that point. Like we didn't bring our phones around because we had cameras at that point. So everybody, I mean, not everybody, but there's a big chunk of influencers. Now, were they extremely hot and good to look at? Oh, absolutely.
Did you make love to your wife Kim in the airplane? That's what I wanted to know. I think that's what the audience wants to know.
Of course. Why wouldn't you?
Wouldn't you? Did you see that plane? That plane that was out there for that?
We saw the plane. We saw the church.
There's a.
When you say,
did you get married there?
When we saw that area, yes, we saw that area.
Oh my God! Look. At
I
this guy.
have a nuts and bolts question.
Okay.
All right. So this is a temporary city that they create every year, right?
Right.
How do the facilities work? I mean,
How
is
do
it
you
just
go number two?
is it just
He wants to know.
outhouses or what's going on here?
So I actually have like a little portable,
Of course,
double decker little thing,
Yeah.
Huh.
and then you use that for number one primarily. But
Right.
if you're gonna do number two, you put a plastic bag inside of it,
Right.
and then you tie the plastic bag up, and then there's a bucket that's airtight, and you drop that inside there all tight.
Diaper genie.
It's great.
It's a diaper genie.
Exactly for
Grown-ups.
adults.
I don't know if I've got it in me to go to Burning Man, but if I had to go, I'd be going with Jay.
No, there's no doubt. He's got
Yeah,
everything you
It
need.
is true. You should definitely come with me. Now the porta cans were all pretty nice until the rain started.
Oh, and then it gets
they got
muddy.
really bad.
Oh.
But I didn't want to walk all the way over to the porta cans anyway. I felt bad for the people in tents. You know what? We were pretty well prepared, but people in tents, all the rain. It was in places it was 4 to 5 inches deep. It was insanity for sure. I was glad to get out of there. I was bummed I missed the burn this year because that's when everybody comes out on the playa, stands around this guy. There are no fences. I mean, you can't imagine this. This is like an insurance company's nightmare.
Oh yeah,
You
for
can walk
sure.
right up to the fire. There's a Thunderdome where you can go inside and do battle with like Tina Turner singing on the top of it, where they put you on these straps and they ram you together.
Yeah, it sounds
People
good.
are climbed all over the outside of the shell. There are, there's, I mean, it's everything you can imagine, and there's no rules. You can just go for it.
So they said like 60,000 plus people total, 70,000.
70.
How many go that are actually like sober while they're there?
Zero.
No,
Well,
it's
the
gotta
funny
be
thing
more than
is,
zero.
I mean, it depends on what you're talking about. Sober.
So narcotics, all hallucinogens, alcohol, all of them included. Does anyone just go completely
I'm sure
straight
there are
edge?
sober people there.
Like there's a few.
There's definitely
Okay.
the couple next to us on the other side. This was their 4th or 5th Burning Man, and young couple, and they had been into everything, and they'd actually met there a year ago together, and that's when they hooked up. And this year they were doing it without anything, just hanging out. But they did not look to be having as much fun as we were having.
I just want to remind you before we let you go, you are a grandfather. Are you planning on going back to Burning Man next year?
And I want to go next year just to put a cap on it.
Yeah. Get the taste out of your mouth. Take Ben with you, would you? I'm
Oh,
begging
please
you.
don't.
Please take
Oh,
Ben.
man, that
Please.
would be a good
I
video.
don't want to go anywhere with an adult diaper genie involved. I got one word for you. Marriott.
Yeah, the Marriott in Reno.
Something.
Jay
Not-
Bird,
yeah.
we love you, man. Thanks for jumping on with us. It was one of my favorite interviews I think we've ever done, ever. So I
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me on, fellas.
Love you,
Thanks,
buddy.
Jay.
We'll talk soon.